Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Welcome everyone to a live episode of the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling. What's goody, everybody doing out there, man? It's Saturday. I'm live here on the podcast show. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Yes, man. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, do me a huge favor, man. Hit that like button on the 11:30 podcast Facebook page. And if you're tuning in here on YouTube, thank everyone, man. I appreciate it once again. Definitely hit that subscribe button down below, like it, leave a comment, and share it. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. Now that's out the way, you guys, man. Crown Jewel. What an event that was. And I'm going to be diving into everything Crown Jewel and everything wrestling here on this week's episode of Talk Pro Wrestling, you guys. I'm not alone. I got a couple of guys that's going to be joining me here on the podcast in just a bit. Yes, my guy Brian B. Yes, the host of the Beeline Entertainment LLC. My guy Brian B. is definitely going to be dropping by, coming through in the house. So it's going to be fun. Also, man, I got my guy Chris from Hills for Life podcast, wrestling podcast. So, man, got a couple of guys that's going to be tuning in, and everyone, man, definitely dive into the chat. I told everyone I was going live immediately following Crown Jewel, and at 5 p.m. The time was actually 4, but I was looking at the time and I was looking at the matches. I was like, it's like 3 or 2 more matches to go. So, you know, hey, but yeah, we have 5, giving a couple of people some time to definitely join in, man. But everyone, I appreciate it so much, man. Definitely, I appreciate it a lot for everyone tuning in here on the podcast, man. So we about to get into it. Like I said, got a couple of guests that I'm waiting for, Chris and also Brian B. But without further ado, man, I'm gonna hop right into it. But before I do, you guys, real fast, recent episode of Talk Pro Wrestling came out last night, you guys, and I want to shout out Universal for coming through on the show, chatting about wrestling, how she got into wrestling, the Attitude Era. We talked about AEW and LA Knight and all that great stuff. So it was the recent episode of Talk Pro Wrestling. So definitely go check that out, man, when you guys can, for real. All right. Enough of all that back 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 noise and back distractions and all that, man. All right, you guys, man. What an event it was, and it was insane, man. I think this was like the first Crown Jewel to my memory that the crowd, man, was just on their toes. They were on their feet. They came out hot. Really came out hot. But the opening matchup, you guys, on the Crown Jewel that we seen. Well, I had the kickoff show. It was Sami Zayn taking on JD McDonagh. I think that was the rubber match between them two. Great matchup. Sami Zayn going over, getting the win. Great for Sami Zayn. Just let's see how they move forward with Sami Zayn and what type of positions they sort of put Sami Zayn in. I think and I believe that Sami Zayn is still hot. He still got that momentum behind him. Obviously, coming out to the crowd in Saudi Arabia, this is the second time, going there in WWE, and Sammy have sort of reached some type of deal from appearing at these international Saudi Arabia events. So a great thing on Sammy going on JD McDonagh, man. Like that bruise on JD looked it nasty, man. Looked it really nasty. But man, a lot of people probably would shit on JD McDonagh, man. But I gotta give it up to JD McDonagh. He makes the other guy in the ring with him, his opponent, looks 10 times better, especially when he throwing them over or they throwing JD over the top head, for a back body drop or whatever. But great matchup, real cool. To start out the night to get the crowds hot. So let's see where this all goes. Now that KO is on SmackDown and Sami Zayn is on Monday Night Raw, and of course they are no longer the undisputed tag team champions. In my picture, I was like. That's sort of the only way to break them up. We've seen KO turn on Sammy multiple times, and I think with the momentum that not only both of them, but Sami Zayn has, I don't think it would sort of make sense to have Sammy turn on KO, which will be different though. Definitely be different. But that was the kickoff. Kickoff. crown jewel, you guys. But to start the show, we had the World Heavyweight Championship matchup. Yes, Seth freaking Rollins. Hey, yo, Seth freaking Rollins is my son's favorite wrestler, bro. Like, when he comes out, man. I mean, when the intro comes on, I play, turn wrestling on, and the intro, then down forever. My little man, ooh, 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 burn it down, because that was like the first thing I sort of said to him. That was like, I think the only thing that sort of stuck out. He gravitated to Cody Rhodes, I think, obviously because of the song. But yeah, man, he loves some Seth Rollins, man. Yeah, love Rollins. But yeah, we had Cody Rhodes. Excuse me, not Cody Rhodes. Yeah, he liked Cody too. But we had Seth Rollins taking on Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Man, a great matchup here. My opinion, man. After seeing this matchup, and I'm gonna let all the guys give their opinions on it, and they definitely chime in to the show. But I was really pulling for, in a way, Drew McIntyre, and I know that WWE probably got some really big plans for Seth Rollins, maybe so at Survivor Series, because man, he been champion since May, and they sort of been working this angle that Seth Rollins has this bad back, and man, he don't we don't know how long that Seth Rollins will hang in there and continue to perform at a top level, and give it 100% every night, whether it's the live events or international or Monday Night Raw or whatever it is. And with the whole situation, what they did with Shinsuke Nakamura, it had me thinking like, okay, well, they playing this scenario with Seth Rollins and this bad back, and man, and it was sort of, I think it was what, last month or so, that he revealed that out to the public, to the WWE universe, that he'd been dealing with this bad back for such a long time. And I was thinking, okay, well, they sort of repackaging and doing Shinsuke, giving Shinsuke a big opportunity, switching it up this time. I was thinking maybe Shinsuke Nakamura would win that, take out Seth Rollins back, but no, we did not see that at I believe it was Fastlane and the other pay per view they fought at or whatever. But Seth Rollins came in to Crown Jewel, going one on one with Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre had a really, really good video package this past week on Monday Night Raw, man. Yes, really good video package. It was a couple of video packages, I think, they were showing on Monday Night Raw that were very interesting. But one particular, like I said, was the Drew McIntyre one, and how Drew McIntyre felt as though, you know, man, I became champion. I never had the right opportunity, or that fully opportunity to show everyone what I'm capable of. We all know Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble in 2020. Claymore Brock Lesnar head off at the Royal Rumble. Man, and had the crowd going insane, man. And it was about to be Drew McIntyre's moment. This was going to be his time to actually showcase and show everyone what Drew McIntyre is made of since he returned to WWE. Came back to NXT, did his thing NXT, teamed up with Dolph Ziggler. They was tag team champions and all that. So this was his singles moment to get back to that promised land, in a way, where Vince McMahon said, "Man, you're gonna be a future champion." So hey, Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble leading up to WrestleMania that year, which, in 2020, the pandemic happened. And I remember, because that Monday Night Raw was the final WWE event of that year during 2020, was the show in DC. And I remember that. I was like, "Yo, man, this is something else. This is really something." I believe it was Monday Night Raw. No, that was the last Monday Night Raw, though. But it was a couple of events. So, but nonetheless, though, Drew McIntyre was like, "Man, yo, I deserve to be champion, and this is my moment." And I thought it was going to be Drew McIntyre's moment and taking this all the way and becoming the world heavyweight champion. But you got to realize, I think one thing Seth Rollins said that even I had to agree with. Like everybody was going through rough times. Everybody was going through tough times. A lot of people are not here. A lot of people didn't make it. Their jobs never got their jobs back. Hell, my mom was one of the persons who lost their jobs. A lot of people had caught COVID, so it was no sympathy there for Drew McIntyre and that part. But man, oh man, after this and seeing Drew McIntyre walk back up that ramp following his matchup with Seth Rollins, it had me thinking like, man, I think it's coming. I don't know if you guys smell it, but I smell a heel Drew McIntyre. It's booming up. It's cooking, man. Everybody talk about how John Cena stay cooking. I feel like that Drew McIntyre, that heel persona, even bigger and badder than what he presented when he came to the main roster or in NXT when he first came back to WWE in general. So, but man, oh man, Seth freaking Rollins, man, uh, pulled the W out, pulled it out with a win. And after that, we seen that Damian Priest was coming down to possibly cash in his money in the bank briefcase. And I don't know. I mean, after this, after Crown Jewel, it's had me thinking. It really is really starting to have me think that Damian Priest may not cash in, may not be a successful cash in, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me or not, but Damian Priest, and the way it seems though, when everything ended and Damian was about to cash in, out comes Sami Zayn and he takes the briefcase and run off with it. So okay, he runs off with it. Now what's next with that? So Priest shows up on Monday Night Raw, don't have a briefcase. Judgment Day is like, where your briefcase at? I don't know, but I would love if they can have it. If they're planning on doing this, which I feel like they may do it, but if they don't have Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest 1-on-1 in the ladder match for the briefcase, which I feel like they're gonna have Damian retain the briefcase because all the momentum they build up with Damian Priest, and we know Sami Zayn got some great momentum though. He's been fighting the Judgment Day, probably what ever since early this year or so. But uh, we're gonna see where that goes, man. I don't know. It's starting to have me thinking that Damian Priest is probably not gonna have a successful cash in. I want to hear you guys' thoughts, man. For everyone who's tuning in on Facebook, uh, Facebook Live, the 11:30 podcast, Facebook channel, and also the 11:30 podcast YouTube channel, man. Definitely appreciate it a lot, man. Definitely. For real. Really, really, really great show. Dope show going on, man. I had a couple of guests that's joining in. Chris, he said he was going to be joining in a few, and definitely my guy Brian B. But, man, yes, Crown Jewel was definitely off the chain, man. Definitely off the chain. Seth Rollins, my son's favorite wrestler, retain, man. Definitely retain. I got to hear you guys' thoughts, man. Definitely got to hear you guys' thoughts on tonight's show, man, and what happened. For real, before we move on. I say move in. Yeah, man. There's always some back noise distraction that be going down. But yeah, all right, we're gonna move right along, man. Yes, I want to know what's next for Drew McIntyre. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Also, what you think and what's next for Drew McIntyre following Crown Jewel, man? He ran into mommy after the matchup and she gave him that little sourpuss look like, well, if you sort of were listening to me, then maybe you would have became the world heavyweight champion. So sad to see. Sad to see. My guy Brian B, man, he said I'll be there. Yeah, 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 man. He said I'll be there. Appreciate it, my guy, man. Yeah, jumped on live, man, and had to get my thoughts and opinions, man. My little man was actually watching the pay per view with me, and until he got sleepy a little bit, he just went to sleep. He went to sleep at the main event though, but I was like, man, I got to get these thoughts off my brain, man. So yeah, chatting live here with everyone. Once again, appreciate everyone tuning in here to the 11:30 podcast uh YouTube channel. Talk Pro Wrestling. All right, you guys. The next matchup we seen the fatal four-way matchup with Mommy. Yes, Mommy defending her world heavyweight championship against Zoe Starks. Nia Jax, Raquel Gonzalez, and what Shayna Baszler, I believe. Yeah, Shayna Baszler. I think I said her name already though. But great matchup, man. Great matchup. Speaking of my son, I think he just woke up too in the other room. But nonetheless, he was like, "Oh, Daddy gone." Yeah. You guys. Rhea Ripley defending her championship up in a fatal five-way matchup, and man, I'm really disappointed how Shayna Baszler was the one who took the pinfall. I mean, someone had to take it. I was thinking more so Zoe Starks. She came out that program with Trish Stratus, and she turned on her sort of right after that. And it was sort of like up in the air of what was next or what was to come for Zoe Starks, though. But everyone in this match, man, great women. I love how each and every woman was coming after Rhea Ripley and sort of what's going on in AEW. You got Daniel Garcia, Warlow, Joe, Kenny Omega, everybody coming after the World Heavyweight Championship. And I like that, man, because if you're not trying to be champion or World Heavyweight Champion in this business, what are you in this business for? But fatal five-way matchup with Rhea Ripley coming out on top because mommy always come out on top, right? She's always on top. But I love this matchup. Great, great showcase for all the women. I really want to see more, really more of Shayna Baszler. I talked about this with my guys on Commission Talks, and I talked about it on the podcast recently as well. Man, Shayna Baszler came in NXT, man, and the way Triple H molded her as one of this badass woman, this bad chick, and she did so much, yeah, bad chick, and she came up to the main roster, which that seems like a thing. When everyone came up, they were not the same. So she come up, she tag team champs for Nia Jackson, doing a bunch of stuff. Tag team champs for Ronda Rousey, okay, and it's just like this dominant woman who was in NXT, as well as Oscar was another dominant one until that undefeated streak got ended by Charlotte, but she still was dominant. And I think Shayna lost that dominance also, and then she sort of fell back, as she wasn't, that important enough, I guess, to say the least. I'm trying to find the right word, but I think, man, she's definitely a big contender in the future to become the women's world champion. And man, this is the first time we have seen more. Well, this is the first time we've seen someone different other than Zelina and Natalia, and sort of with Raquel take on Mommy and Rhea Ripley for her women's championship, man, because it just seemed like it just been sort of the same women going one on one. It's like, come on, man. I mean, we had a run in with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch, what I thought they were going to do at SummerSlam, but they wind up not doing that at all. Okay, wind up not doing that at all. But a pick up to Rhea Ripley, mommy on top, man. I definitely dig it. Okay, you guys, man, running down my opinions and stuff, man. My guy Brian B is going to hop on in just a bit. We also had the you can see me. My guy John Cena, man, is I feel like I'm getting up there in age, man, because boy, John Cena, I watch shows with my little man, and he loves Seth, and I was like, all I could think of is, man, I remember when I loved John Cena. I had the hoodie, I had the chain, bro. I had everything, man. You can't see me, but yeah, man, John Cena, still doing his thing. He was trying to get a victory, trying to get a win, his first win in since 2018. I think they said his last win was actually in Saudi Arabia, and he took on Triple H. And I remember that. I definitely remember that. But John Cena, man, I don't know how long he's going to be around, but it was really great seeing Cena in WWE. But John Cena took on the Samoan badass, man, Solo Sikoa. Anybody out there got Solo Sikoa song on their playlist or not? I'm the only one. I can't be the only one, man. That jump go hard. I know everybody got Cody Rhodes theme song on their jump, but man, Solo Sokoa, that jump go hard right there, man. For real. Okay, yeah, man, great matchup right here. But before I talk about this matchup, before I talk about this match, yo, yes, before I talk about this matchup, last night on SmackDown, and I've been seeing this clip circle around on TikTok, and I didn't actually put one and one together, two to two together, or whatever like that. But John Cena telling Solo Sikoa that he looks like a sort of a Taz ripoff or whatnot, and I've been saying that for like a week or whatever. And obviously, SmackDown last week was taped prior to the week before SmackDown in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and stuff like that. So uh, that was cool. That was cool. But I was like, man, I seen this all over the internet. I don't know what it is though. But yeah, John Cena came out there and he had the raspy voice after getting Simone Spike by Solo Sokoa the week before or earlier in the night. So the way he came out there and was just chatting and had the raspy voice, I said, John Cena is something else. Something else. He did pull an emotional promo on it too. So um yeah, man. My guy Brian B, man, he said solo theme is definitely fire. Solo song is fire. I agree. I definitely agree, man. I know anybody else out there agree, man? He sound like Kane. No, boy, he did. He did sound like Kane. But I felt like that mattered. That made, in a way, that made Solo Sokoa look strong. That made Solo look like a beast because it was like, yo, man, he just Samoan spiked me, and man, my voice raspy and shit. Like I can't, I barely could talk. Like he got to use a little talk machine, just like my man Brian B said, like Kane do, man. So I thought that made Solo look amazing, you guys. All right, we about to get to my guest. Actually, he was just here. Hopefully, he probably having some technical difficulties. Chris was just about to hop on with me, and but yeah, I thought that was very much of some storytelling to say, man. But at the end of that match, John Cena looked like the way he did at the end of the match he had with The Rock, man. It was like, I don't know if I can do this shit no more, man. Whew, whew. I'm getting up there. I'm definitely getting up there though. But yeah, man, John Cena, like I said, man, he's only still around because of the whole writer strike or whatever. So I know he's supposed to be definitely probably going back to Hollywood soon. So um, who was a potential? I was thinking of that. Who could be an opponent that we would love to see John Cena face before he wrap it up and or have a retirement match, so to say. He sort of teased it a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure. I know this picture of John Cena got more hair than he did tonight. No, I'm just having fun with Cena, man. Cena, that's my man. But yeah, man, the matchup between Solo Sokoa and John Cena. Great matchup. Great matchup. Cena, he really can't, do as much as he did, back in the day in the ring. So he let Solo, man, take control of this one. And I thought it was a real cool matchup. Uh I didn't see Solo in a way losing because of the momentum and everything he has going with him. And Solo haven't been featured with Jimmy or Roman in sort of their little saga they got going on ever since Solo has been, going up against John Cena on SmackDown. I think it's awesome, man. Let Solo have his own spotlight and let him have his own shine. And I think that is going to be doing amazing. And I think this win for Solo, it can go a long way of Solo breaking out of this bloodline in a way it could just be like, well, at least I'm the only one in the bloodline who beat John Cena. Roman Reigns couldn't do it. None of the Usos did it. So uh, Solo did it. So I think that'll be something interesting. All right, you guys, man. We're gonna get the guys on, man. We're gonna chat about Crown Jewel. I got my guy Brian B. He's standing by. He's gonna be joining me in just a bit. I think his mic is off. But we also I got Chris in the building.
Hi,
What's going on? What's going on, my
hey,
guy?
what's going on? Thank you for inviting me on the show. Um, my This is my first time actually on the show, so
Yes.
yeah, shout out to you. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem, no problem. I appreciate you, man. You know, we had some we sort of didn't meet up last time, but I
Hmm.
appreciate you coming through here on the
I
podcast,
apologize
man.
for that. Like we were, I guess we just was out of sync, but I'm here now, so
Yeah.
that's all
All right, man. I was just chatting, man, giving my opinions on some of the matches, though.
good.
Particularly though. Anything particularly stood out for you, a crown jewel, or I'm just gonna just rewind it back to you from the first matchup that we that I was talking about and that went down with the
Hmm.
Drew McIntyre and the Seth freaking Rollins. How did you feel about that match? Seth Rollins was the one that you wanted to win, or Drew?
This one was honestly predictable. I knew that Seth was going to win. I even told my cast members that Seth Rollins is going to win. The thing about it is with Drew McIntyre is that he did not he he did not recover from the pandemic era.
Mm,
He
mm,
just simply didn't, because like people need to understand is that the pandemic really altered, you know what I'm saying, our course in history, you know, and that happened like everywhere. It doesn't even matter. Now, I get that Seth Rollins said that, well, I mean, you know, it sucks to be you that you didn't get your moment at WrestleMania, which I feel that that wasn't fair for him to say, because I mean that was outside. I mean that was out of everybody's hands. But the thing is with Drew is that if he didn't, and I fear that this may happen, but I'm not exactly sure. This is just my opinion. That if Drew did not win the world title, that he is not going to resign with WWE.
mm.
He's not going to resign with them. I don't think he is, because really everything is constipated with the title scene. I mean, there's really no room for Drew McIntyre other than turning heel and kicking everybody ass. I mean, that's the only thing that I see.
Yeah.
Um Now, as far as Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, I am glad that WWE decided to move in that direction, because number one, Rey Mysterio needs to be a WWE Hall of Famer, and that is it. Him and his whack ass LWO needs to go. They need to go. So, but but the U.S. Championship on a social media influencer like Logan Paul, thumbs up. So I have no problem with this. Now the whole thing is like Logan Paul ain't shit. This man went over to Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio was up there looking like discombobulated after he got hit with the knuckles due to his LWO member. I forgot dude name. What was his name?
Santos Escobar.
Yes, Santos Escobar. Oh Jesus! I think that this is the beginning of his heel turn. This motherfucker left the fucking knuckles just like, here you go. Just left it, just unprotected or anything like that. And then the next thing I know, this, you know, Logan hit Ray in his face and shit after he tried to do his 619, get the 1-2-3. And then after the match, like he went over to Ray, he was like, Ray, you're a legend. I love you. And then Ray was just like, you know what you did. You know what you did. He said, listen, I love you. I won the match and I'm sorry. But he said, you know what you did. You know what you did. I'm like, dude, that was so fucked up. It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. Uh,
For more. Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that there was only three matches that really stood out to me, and that was the first match, the Logan Paul, and the main event. But it just really felt, I don't know. I don't know if it was the crowd. The crowd was like all over the place. It was like 1 minute they was hype, the next minute they're low, next minute they're silent. I mean, it was just like it was like radio waves. It was just like they was just going up, down, up, down, up, down, you know.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say that last year pay-per-view was way better than this year. I just really wish that WWE would have pulled some tricks out their ass instead of like picking random people that I guess did television shows, and the only people that knew about this cat was in Saudi Arabia. And I do not know who that dude is. I don't know. This man was like random. But I mean, the Saudi president really did spend his money this evening. So, you know, hey, it is what it is, you know. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm gonna dial back a little bit though when you said, because I was just talking about that Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre situation, and when you said that you felt like Drew McIntyre time has passed him by, in 2020, and he said it also in the video package that played last week on Monday Night Raw that you
Mhm.
know by the time 2020, or at least when the crowd came back, he had that big one-on-one matchup at the start of the show against Bobby Lashley, but he had lost. And I remember at that time
Mhm.
in 2021, we everything in the country coming off of everything that was going on with the George Floyd and everything in the black
Mhm.
community. There was no way in hell I feel like that to have Bobby Lashley lose to Drew McIntyre, but
Mhm.
obviously fans who were big, supporters and fans of Drew McIntyre wanted to see him have that moment, and it just
Mhm.
sort of never came. Obviously, with Clash of the Castle in here at Crown Jewel, though. But just like
Mhm.
you said, the next best thing for Drew McIntyre to actually do is, turn heel and see where that goes. I guess though, but I
Yeah.
feel like he's going to become world champion. I don't know, but I mean, you made an interesting point. If he did not become world champion, he probably wouldn't resign, and I don't think he has resigned as well.
No, he hasn't resigned. He was supposed to resign at SummerSlam, but he didn't. So I don't know what's going on. I think his contract is up at early 2024, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's something definitely to watch.
Yeah, definitely something is to watch. Also, another matchup I was breaking down. How you feel about Rhea Ripley, mommy coming out on top as the women's world champion? And you also just made a point too about the crowd too. The first match, definitely the first match, and the second match,
Hmm.
and the Cena match. But they did was like, okay, they flat. You don't really hear them, and then they sort of came
Right.
back up at the end. It was sort of a roller coaster, and particularly that's to expect that in an international Saudi Arabia crowd.
Not
So
necessarily because
yeah.
last year they were off the chain. I don't know what in
Okay.
the hell they ate. I mean, I don't know what was in their Wheaties, but yeah, they were off the chain last year. I don't know if it was the matches. I don't know if there was like they didn't know who these people were. Because like if I don't know who you are, I'm not cheering for you. So
Mm,
I don't know what happened, but this year it just was like it was odd. I mean, I don't know, but the women's match was. I mean, did you think that Naomi was going to lose? No.
yeah, nah.
I mean, she's the face of, even though they do not want to acknowledge this, but she is the face of Judgment Day. So,
Hmm.
and she's doing a damn good job too. I don't know if it's chauvinistic or sexist. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like WWE doesn't want to give women too much power. Now as far as like a man can't hit a woman, that's power. It is. I think it's stupid, but once again, I digress because like first of all, you hit me, I'm slapping you back. Plain simple. I don't give a fuck. Man, woman, I don't give a fuck. You are not gonna put your hands on me and don't think you're gonna get a receipt. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So, but Rhea Ripley, she's on a roll. I was thinking that nah, I was thinking that Jade Cargill was gonna make her presence known, in one of the
mm,
women's matches, but you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't happen, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
yes,
I don't.
mommy always to stay on top though.
Yeah, she do. I don't know when we're gonna see Jay Cargill. That seems like an interesting thing to build. And I know it's November, and I know we got like, what 2 months away from the Royal Rumble, and I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
that's where she probably going to make her official debut. And
Hmm.
we seen her, confront. Well, not necessarily confront, but she had a backstage segment with Becky and Charlotte and a couple
Hmm.
other people, women. So we'll see what we will definitely see where that goes.
Except
But
for Bianca Belair, which that one is going to be very interesting
you
toward
said
the
Bianca
end.
Belair.
That's the only person that she have not had a confrontation with
Yeah.
yet.
Uh huh.
So I think they saving that the best for last.
Yeah, I
Probably at the
think
Royal
so.
Rumble. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wanna let it milk. I wanna let it milk. Less and ah, I don't want to see them nowhere. Maybe at a SummerSlam, but only like a backstage or a
That's too
split
long.
second. You know,
That's that's too long.
You think it's
You
too long?
don't
You need to have it.
you want to make sure that when you are showcasing your newest talent, you want to make sure you can showcase her like Mortal Kombat 2 for Sega Genesis and Nintendo when Jade was popping. That Jade was popping in the forest and looking behind the bushes and the trees or whatever. You can keep doing that for Jade and the WWE. You can. However, you don't want it to delay the fact that okay, well, when she's going to have her debut match, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to make sure as she's hot right now, you want to keep her hot, you know, because like right now we only know how she wrestles in AEW. That's where she came from, but in the WWE, we do not know how she's going to wrestle, and if she wrestles mid, like she was wrestling mid in AEW. In WWE, people are not going to care for her. Trust me when I tell you, when you are flashing the pants or whatever, fans will they got a short attention span. So if you don't like, do these woo and I, moves or whatever, they are not going to fuck with you. I hate to say that.
Yeah, you make a great point. You make a great
but that's just my opinion.
You make a great point, and I think that's also the reason why they got her, or when they announced that Jay Cargill signed a multi-year deal with WWE. I think that's why they put out all these pictures on social media with her in the performance center, because everyone knew that Shorty came from AEW and like she'd be a great star, but I mean her ring work needs to improve and stuff, and I think that's why they showed her in the performance center working on trying to get better, and hopefully she will. And I'm not saying let her first match be be until maybe mid next year, but the confrontation with her and Bianca in a way, because them two are legit, mega stars, and everybody wants to see them, come together. So
Yeah.
Hi, Brian.
What up, y'all?
What it do? What
I
it
had to
do? What's
run.
going on,
I
Brian?
was working over here. I had to run and get off of work so I can be a part of the conversation, man. I can't wait. Damn work, yo. What's good,
How's
y'all?
everything, man? What's
How
good?
you
What's good?
feel?
Chilling, man.
We was sitting here chilling.
Doing all right. What up, Chris? Yeah,
Hey,
I was
bro.
watching Crown Jewel while I was working and everything, man. I was making sure I stayed up on it or whatever. I was listening to you, Dre. I was listening to you, Chris, while y'all were talking about some of the matches. I mean, did y'all enjoy it, man?
It was mid.
Yeah, it was okay. It was
I
okay. I
thought it
think
was mid too.
everything was
I think
predictable though.
the thing is
Yeah.
that this pay-per-view had potential. Remind you, Saudi Arabia, this is their WrestleMania. Me, I don't give a fuck. Like WrestleMania for me is in March and April, whatever. Like, I don't care for Crown Jewel. People can talk about that. This is a blood pay-per-view, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. My whole thing is I want to be entertained and I want to focus on like, what's next in the storylines or whatever for Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble and blah blah. It's just I took it. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad either. It was just in between mid. So it's just the thing is that they should have gave the belt to Drew McIntyre only for him to lose it to Damian Priest. Damian Priest has impressed me over the last 2 years. Like even in the Judgment Day, he has really impressed me. But it's been a progressive, situation. Now, Sami, Zayn, this is a copy and paste from the bloodline. Now he wants to stop the bloodline from getting power. Now he wants to stop the Judgment Day from getting power. So now he takes the briefcase away from Damian Priest. I'm just like, oh my god, here we go again. Okay, but whatever. This is just my.
Y'all ready to hear my opinion, yo?
Hey, we was going. Go ahead. We chat.
It took me last night's SmackDown to realize this is gonna sound crazy. I don't give a fuck what's going on in wrestling right now with WWE. Let me clarify.
Okay.
It took me till last night to realize the shit that's going on right now, the storylines to me, they're not hitting. I can't think of anything that's really hitting. Remember how good this shit was maybe a couple months back when the whole bloodline shit with Jey Uso and Sami, and you couldn't wait to turn wrestling on. But now, like you guys said, mid has been the word I think to describe the last couple months of wrestling. Like Sami
Yeah,
Zayn and
yeah.
KO have been all over the place. It's like they haven't had any real big things happening with anybody, but they have a lot of big things going on. That's what's crazy. Like, the whole Roman thing, like I said, y'all been a fan, or everybody's been a fan of, like, the Cody Rhodes story and this and that. And I'm just so sick of the same shit. Just like Chris just said, like with Sami coming in there and taking the briefcase. I'm like, why? What the fuck are you doing that for? Like, you're just basically being more of a menace because you're just involving yourself in something. And then when Jey Uso came out tonight, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot Jey Uso didn't have a match. I forgot anything with him. I wasn't even looking for him. And I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening, but it's starting to be. I think that they're missing the ball in closing some of these stories and starting new ones, man. The Drew and Seth was a really interesting story dynamic, and I think they did miss the ball by not giving Drew that belt tonight.
But you know what? I think it's all the way around though with that, because me and Dre was talking about this. So where they missed the ball with that was they could have did either A or B. So if he would have won the title, cool, he completed his story. If he didn't, he should have beat the brakes off of fucking Seth Rollins.
Lipped. Yes.
Kept it moving.
Yeah.
Right about
what
that.
What I will hope for now is I feel like for sure Drew McIntyre should join Judgment Day, yo. I don't know how he fits in, but I would like it. It would be something new and different. It would be different for me. I'd be like, fuck it. And he's just on some give up shit. Because if you see him, like the storylines, like they're saying that they're trying to present him like how Bret Hart had his, when he was on the Fuck USA Canada Rules, tip back in the day, his slow burn. They're trying to build that where he was like, fuck Shawn Michaels because he's representing the company. I'm the best wrestler. And he kind of turned into a heel really slowly. And they're saying that that's what they're trying to do with Drew. But I feel like Drew has been taking loss after loss after loss, man. And he's definitely a dominant person. His look, everything is dominant about him. So for him to just continuously be on these kind of slanted kind of angles, it's boring at this point. Like, it's unbelievable. So I don't know, man. It just hasn't been hitting for me recently, bro. Bloodline shit, that shit was hitting. Now, even after that, like,
I feel like right now, with obviously we know Crown Jewel has been one of those. Certain times though, Chris said last year was a better pay per view of Crown Jewel, but I feel like Crown Jewel has been sort of a filler pay per view until
glorified live event on some real shit. That's usually what it is.
Yeah, basically, for real.
Not a belt
Saudi
changer.
Arabia.
For us, at least.
Exactly. In Saudi Arabia. So I think they just had big matches and big moments for whatever type of season they got going on in Arabia or Saudi Arabia right now. But I feel like, some things have definitely slowed down, like the bloodline situation. I was just talking about how we haven't seen Solo Sikoa involved in, with Roman and Jimmy. But I like how he defeated John Cena, and it's kind of like it'll give him a way up, a sort of edge up on the rest of the bloodline, even Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns couldn't get the job done. He couldn't beat John Cena twice. So actually, I think he did.
Yeah, he did beat him.
He did beat him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's going to do well for them, but I think some things have definitely slowed down. But like Chris said, also with Drew McIntyre, this was sort of the moment, but I feel like once he turned heel, which probably could be as soon as Monday Night Raw, and I never gave it a thought of him joining the Judgment Day. So
yeah, they teasing it, but but they could just be teasing it. But I think that. And y'all know me, man. I'm always the one pushing for like difference, man. I'm tired of hearing the same stories. I'm tired of hearing the same angles. I'm tired of those angles that you can kind of see happen, and it's like, oh, whatever. That's why I'm saying, like, one of the best things for me, and I'm glad he hasn't cashed it yet because you can see the teases. Damian Priest is definitely going to be out of Judgment Day, but I personally feel like it should happen. I feel like he should turn on them. And it's starting to kind of tingle that way a little bit too. Because if you notice, when Rhea be talking to him, he ain't trying to hear that shit no more. It's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. All right, motherfucker. I feel like Damian is going to cash that briefcase in on fucking Roman and take that belt from Roman, and it's going to put him at a higher. Like Chris said, he's been impressive, man. It's going to put him on I think that cash in will put him at a really high caliber. And just that will give him the power to flip on the Judgment Day. And there's a lot of storyline just from that can build. Him and Drew. It could be so much that could open up. I'm tired of seeing Seth with the belt. Seth ain't really doing shit with the belt no more. I don't give a fuck with anybody. I love Seth. He ain't doing shit with the
I
belt no
love
more.
Seth too.
It's time
I
to
feel like
switch
this
it, bro.
was, I feel like tonight, was the moment for Drew McIntyre. Just how we all talked about it. It was out of his hands with the pandemic in 2020. No
Yeah.
fans there winning the belt. Even when he won it back from Randy Orton, still no fans there in the Thunderdome. But I think this
Randy.
was sort of the moment. I know we all miss Randy, right?
Yo, Randy
We
gonna
all
come in and
miss
fuck
Randy.
Cody up. Yo, I'm telling y'all right now. That's my prediction. Randy gonna come in on some celebration Cody shit, and Randy gonna fuck Cody up, yo. And I'm gonna be the loudest motherfucker in the room with that. I'm loving that shit. I
Hey,
like
but
Cody, bro. I like Cody, but I'm tired of the same shit. It's been the
yeah.
story since he got here, motherfucker. Like, you still telling the story? Like, obviously nobody want to hear that shit.
I
anymore.
mean, people listen.
That should be done,
People
bro.
keep saying, "Finish the story, my nigga." Like, what story are we on?
What
Are we on
story at this
chapter
point,
2? Are we on chapter
Damn.
30?
Longest fucking
Where we
story
at?
ever.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
Roman just keep raising the title up, bro. Yo, listen, my man, fucking 2,000 days. Yo, I think Michael Cole did y'all catch? I think Michael Cole fucked up because Bruno Sammartino is the longest reigning champion of all time. He said Hogan was. I think he switched the names up. Y'all heard that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't catch that.
So he said, no, I think what he said, he's closing in on Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan is the second longest reigning WWE champion.
Bruno's got like 1,400 or something like that, I think. And Hulk Hogan's right behind him. I thought he said that Hulk was the 1,400. I don't know. I may have heard it wrong, but
no, he said he closing in on him like
shit.
soon.
Michael Cole did fuck up on Monday Night Raw by calling Candice LeRae Candice Michelle though. That was hilarious.
Oh, for real? Getting old, man. Mike Cole is like what, fucking 60, 70 years old at this point. That nigga's old.
I had to rewind that to make sure.
That's my boy.
Did he say that?
I think he's in his 50s or something like that.
Yeah, Michael Cole been in the game forever, man. I remember watching Michael Cole back
since like 97, 96, 97.
In a while. Yeah. But Crown Jewel, I mean, I saw y'all was talking about the Rhea Ripley match, man. Listen, I fucking love Rhea, bro. I love her. I mean, over everybody too. I think as far as the women competitors, I think Rhea is number one in my opinion, yo. She's the only one that's completely dominant, but with a story, man. That shows you the importance, in my opinion, of a damn, a faction. The faction creates everlasting stars, man. And they give them a place of importance. They give them a character. And then even after that character's over, you still remember that's where they came from, their beginning story. Look at The Rock, man. The Rock came in as Rocky Maivia. He wasn't shit until he was in the Nation. And then after that persona he built in the Nation became what he is today. And I mean, he's always been, a charismatic person, but I don't know, man. DX, you can name endless ones or whatever. But right now, I think there's a lot of people that are kind of floating, man. Even we know it was crazy Friday night with Charlotte Flair when Charlotte went and came out with Shotzi and shit. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, nothing makes sense with like Bailey. I don't know what that was. I don't know if you talked about. I'm gonna be jumping around too much. But when Kyrie came out for with Io, let me tell you something. I want Io. I want Kyrie and I want fucking Asuka and the form of faction to go up against all the motherfuckers, yo. I think that shit would be phenomenal. And it'll let Io flip, you know what I'm saying? Like give her like, a reason to be like, nah, it's right. Kyrie's like, yo, what are you doing? You're following these fucking stupid girls. Like, you're greatness. You feel me? And then Io just be on some crazy different like heel type shit and just really be kicking ass. There's so much. I wish I was a fucking writer, bro. I would be in there every day just throwing ideas at the motherfuckers, yo. Like, because it's so much that Kyrie turn was nice, yo. Because Bianca fucking boring. Even though she's getting a little more edgy, she came back in and she's definitely getting a little edgy. You see the little different change with her, like she throwing motherfuckers and pushing their heads down. But she boring, bro. Like, it's not like you gotta flip that shit, man. You doing the same shit you've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I think with the Bianca Belair, I think it's a little hard for WWE. I'm gonna say hard, but it's challenging probably at this point because she's like so beloved with the
Yeah.
young audience and stuff like that, and all the
So is
little girls.
Roman.
Not as much
Roman's
though.
not the same way.
More so, yeah, more so with the older fans. A lot of people gravitate with the Roman
I love
situation
Roman
because
shit.
it's
My nigga.
cinema. Everybody is like, man, I can dig that, man. I got
But
cousins,
remind
I got
you,
family that try
the
to hold
face
me
of your
down.
company is a heel, but yet people still throwing up them ones.
Yeah,
People are
because they
still
love.
saying that
Yeah,
they acknowledge the tribal chief.
That's
yeah, they
dominant.
throwing up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they throwing up
dominant.
them ones because they know the storyline is amazing. And obviously, even the storyline is just amazing. Everything that Roman Reigns have done since what 20 since when he took the title off of Bray Wyatt
2020, I
has
think.
just
Yeah,
been
that shit was way better.
phenomenal. And I think that's why they more so throwing up the ones though. But all the kids, I mean, yeah, they like Roman Reigns. I mean, who don't like Roman Reigns right now? He's like the top dog. I mean,
Yeah, Bianca's a role model, bro. There's no doubt about it for
but it's
black, especially for young black. I mean, I know a lot of black female wrestler. Well, fans of wrestling, especially young ones, man. And she's a super role model for that. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, it's
definitely.
like you're saying, they may have kind of a challenge with that, but at the same time, you have also a business to run, man. And I mean, it's just you're allowing it to get stale because people flipping on her already, man. When they fucking introduced her today, that's come out before she came out to the ring. There was a lot of mixed reviews with her at this point. I don't think people feeling her anymore, bro.
I
Like,
think I think another thing, I think when you give the fans a little bit too much, I guess they sort of, push back in a way,
yeah, that
too
too.
much
That's
of
what I feel about
too
Cody. That's
yeah,
how I feel
too
about
much.
Cody.
But
Yeah,
I
that's how it
told
was
people
with
about Cody. I told people about
that's
Cody,
how
and
Yeah, yeah. I remember Chris said that shit.
that's
yeah,
how it was. That's how it was with John Cena. When
I'm
everybody
just
gave us too much
saying.
John Cena, they pushed back. Same thing
Oh
with
yeah,
Roman Reigns
Roman
before
Reigns.
when he was the big dog.
Yeah,
And now with Bianca Belair, everyone was like, man, I'm getting bored. Same thing, like, nah, let's not even nah.
But see,
So
here's the thing. There's a pattern with all of this. The thing is, like, sometimes you're gonna have to give yourself a facelift. There's nothing
reinvention.
wrong with
Yep,
that. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's as long as it's like it's productive and it's doing wonders for the storyline. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing wrong with turning heel. As a matter of
Yeah,
fact, turning heel will save your career. I
your
mean, ask
image,
Hulk
everything.
Hogan. People thought that
Yeah,
it
exactly.
was it was going to be a disaster. He was going to destroy wrestling as we knew it back then. You know what I'm saying? Soon as this man turned heel, WCW Scott, I mean, like their stock went up, and it came back down in 2001. But I digress. But it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the fact that WWE does not like to take risks. They like to combine, like, companies and shit, merge companies. But then
Yeah.
when it comes to actually,
We're
storyline,
creative. We're
yeah,
creative. Yeah, I
it's
agree
like
with
they're
you on that.
conservative. Like, you can't be conservative, especially when you're trying to make some money.
Yeah, and I think like even like what Dre was saying, because that is one of the things that they do have a focal point on, man, is your merchandise sales and the Wake a Wish and all that. I mean, it all matters. I mean, their distribution is so much different than the other companies because they're so much at a higher status or whatever, with their traded stocks and all that shit or whatever. So it's like everything they do is looked at more. But like you said, Chris, like that's how I feel as well. Like I don't give a fuck about the politics. I'm watching for the product.
Mhm.
So I understand that you got this going on, but you also got to understand you're trying to sell story, bro. And if you're going to continuously give us the same fucking story every 5 minutes, that's
Mhm.
probably, like I said, I try to find reasons why I'm frustrated with Cody Rhodes. I'm like, he's a great wrestler, he's phenomenal. He has an amazing image where I can see him being a top figure in the company, but you're trying to throw him down our fucking throats in every kind of way. If you
But
direct it, and we're basically telling you about the story that you're inventing, and we could predict this shit every 5 minutes, and you're gonna put him
mhm.
at Mania with Roman, then
Mhm.
we've been saying this shit since what, September? Like we already knew it. Like how the fuck are we gonna be excited to watch something we already knew was gonna happen? That's why it's just boring to me, man.
Cody is trying to be what he was in AEW. He's trying to be this big face. He's trying to be the dominant face. He's trying to be the next John Cena. He's trying to be the next Hulk Hogan. The problem is that Cody has an expiration date like milk. Okay, it's going to be good for a little bit, and then it's going to get sour. It's going to be like, I don't think I can really fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Cody's situation is similar to Roman. When you get tired of the face, you need to be the villain. It's time for you to be the
I
villain.
think Cody would be a phenomenal villain too,
He
man.
was, and if you guys
Off
have
his
never seen his
AEW
work,
All Out, his Bullet Club shit.
yes,
Listen, I will fuck with
and
the
if you
suit and
guys have
tie.
never seen his work,
Motherfucker,
you need
I'll
to
be
see
on
it.
him.
You
I'll
need
be
to
on
see
him.
it.
I would love that. That would instantly change me into a fucking yes, like even with Roman, when Roman came back with Paul Heyman, that was one of the smartest fucking decisions. That's why they kept that shit for 3 years. They said this nigga fucker's great. Yep, everybody hated him. He said, "Yeah, y'all fucking hated. Remember that? Well, fuck all y'all. I'm smash them. I'm gonna stack them." And then now look at this. Fucking 3 years later, I don't personally even give a fuck. He still got the title. I would love to see somebody else, but I don't even care. I love fucking that tribal chief, yo.
And
He's dominant.
I think with the whole Cody Rhodes and you guys talking about Cody Rhodes possibly, turning heel and you guys make great points, man. Turning heel could definitely save your career and really, put it in a whole
Right.
different
Just
perspective.
revamping at
But
least.
yeah, you're right.
New
You're right.
music, new outfit, you know what I'm saying? New character.
Exactly. And for Cody Rhodes, the only way I can actually see him potentially turn heel or whatever it is he have to sort of admit, like, I mean, not necessarily admit, but this story thing is just I feel that the story, like, it's just not working. Like, he just gotta get I'm not I'm not. I don't want to say I dislike what he's doing, but I want to see where it's going to go. I want to see him get to his lowest lows, and if
Wrap
you're
it
going to
up.
fight back, fight back. But if he said wrap it up, But like, just what is it like? If you're going to turn heel, give me a reason. Like Drew McIntyre, and how if he's turning heel, it makes more sense. Like I
Yeah.
It would
think
have
through the
been perfect for him
pandemic,
to. It would have been
yeah,
perfect for him to turn this evening. It would have
yes,
It
it
been
would have.
would.
perfect
It
because
would have.
what it did was it would be a more like anticipated, Monday Night
Monday
Raw.
night. Yes.
We can
Yeah,
You're
tune into
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? But I
Yep.
don't think the WWE was thinking like that. They were just like, okay, well, we're just trying to get this story over with, trying to get this pay-per-view over with, so they can fly back home, and then we can go on the road
War
to
games.
survive,
Yeah.
to War Games. But the thing is that they're hurting him versus helping him. They're hindering him. I'm like, if you're not gonna give him the title, then make him the badass that he was 3 years ago.
When he first came
hmm
in. Dolph,
yeah, and
that's the Drew I like. That
yes.
hardcore Scottish
I was just
psychopath shit.
I
That
was just
motherfucker
talking
was
about that.
ominous.
I was just talking about that, and it makes sense for Drew McIntyre to turn heel. Like I was saying, I won a title during a pandemic. Nobody was there in the arena. The Bloodline tried to stop me from winning against Roman. Hell, I didn't win it against Seth Rollins. So all these frustrations, I keep losing. All this makes sense, and you can see it's boiling up and it's
Yeah.
cooking for Drew McIntyre to go heel. But for necessarily Cody, it's like, dog, you just been a sucker, bro. Like, in a way, but you don't necessarily have a reason in a way to turn heel. He's the woe guy. Let him just do that until whatever comes up for him, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'm digging more so Drew turning heel, which they could have did it tonight. Would make perfect sense though. But I feel
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
probably going to do it on Monday to kickstart maybe this road to Survivor Series. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they're gonna go, man. Because like I just said openly, I'm not trying to stunt. Like, if you guys have been seeing the reports, like, it don't look like they got big plans for Roman, man. I think that they're trying to just hold on to the end of the fucking chain for Roman to keep that title, man. And
What you guys think of
listen,
that?
bro,
I
What you
think
guys
that
think of
is
that?
a
He's not supposed
mistake.
to be at Survivor Series as well.
I
Neither.
think it's a mistake as well.
They're saying that we are not going to see Roman until 2024.
I believe
hmm
it hard.
And I think
hmm
that is a mistake. The longer
Yeah,
he has that belt, the worst things are going to get for that belt alone. I'm not talking about for the tribal chief, I'm talking about for the belt, period. Because
yeah.
it doesn't even matter who gets the belt. Whoever gets the belt is going to be a lesser Roman Reigns. They're going to look at him and it's like, you're not our tribal chief. You're
That's a
not
good
this, you're
point.
not that. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good point, but
So
you
Good
don't
point.
think, whoever beats him for the belt will get looked at a bigger light.
No,
no,
he's right. No, he's right. But this, like you said, Chris, it's not about the belt at this point. It's about who's going to finally dethrone the tribal chief. The belt, to be honest with you, anybody who would take the belt from Roman, even though Jey Uso pinned him in a tag match, Anybody who takes the belt from Roman, the bigger story is going to be somebody finally beat Roman for the belt. Not we have a new champion, in my opinion. And that's why, like you're saying, just keeping the belt on him consistently, it's making you, or even just throw up your hand and say, oh, thank God, finally somebody is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the longer, without his presence being there and having you like, somebody's going to beat him, that anticipation even, but he's not even there. It's going to make you kind of really lose interest in. Damn, I don't give a fuck. Is it
that's why I'm fearing the most.
Good point.
Like when it's when, because people, I mean, like wrestlers are just openly blasting Roman now. Like they're not even hiding it now. Becky Lynch actually said something on NXT talking about, well, shit, I defended my belt more than Roman has.
Roman was even fucking here,
I'll get a little bit, get a little spicy over there. Okay, right. But I mean, she has a valid point. It's just the thing is, it's like I wouldn't even been mad if LA Knight would have won this evening. I think
me neither. He did a good job.
He did.
He did a really good fucking job.
He did a phenomenal job.
He didn't look bad. I don't think this hurt him in any way. I think he did good. It was an interference win. I think that was good, even for Roman. Honestly, I think that him pinning him, if it would have been over after the caliber of a match they had, it was an exciting match. I think LA really showed out, and unlike any other match that he ever had, and I think he needed to. And I think LA can walk on that screen and say, "Let me talk to you," and everybody's like, "You fucking kicked ass, LA." And this places him in a position where he could still rise. And I like that they did that. That was something that I really did like about tonight.
and I agree with that, because I think, I mean, he lost, but I think that the chants are going to get louder.
Yeah, me too.
And that's what I was talking about too.
To the point where they might fuck around and make him the Royal Rumble winner.
Bro, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't be against it.
Cody, I don't think is going to go after the World Championship. I don't. At this point, I think they're going to focus on the World Championship. I don't think they're going to focus on the WWE Championship, because number one, it's just Cody for me is not. It feels like a Sami Zayn situation. It's like this person got more momentum over here, and they're chanting loud as fuck for this individual. But then Cody, of course, people are going to cheer for him regardless. Yeah. And you got to like pretty much take your pros and cons. Like, okay, you go with LA Knight, but a lot of people don't really know LA Knight like that. And he didn't really have like a great showing of a match until this evening. This evening, we see him in the main event for the very first time in the WWE, and he passed with flying colors. Now what they're going to do with him is the question. Like, I mean, so if Roman's going to be gone into 2024, what are they going to do for a champion?
Yeah, I mean, Seth definitely
will be the main event.
I think Seth is losing that belt soon. I don't think, and I think that's the smartest. I mean, I personally think he should have lost that to Shinsuke. I think Shinsuke should have took it. It was great opportunity for a new character to be established. I think Shinsuke's character is phenomenal, and him fighting what's his name, Kazawa on Monday. I don't know what the hell that's about, but I don't know, bro. It's just like Chris said too. It's like they are scared to take risks. It does seem like Kazawa in with Chad Gable in them. I love that. That's cool. Like, you're establishing people, giving them meaning. But to put him up against Shinsuke, why? Why is that? Why is Shinsuke involved in something after coming from a world title picture to being on some joking comical shit? Like, he should be.
It's fun because we'll talk about that on our Tuesday show. The issue is that for some apparent reason, it's like this is not like the Attitude Era where like you lose the main event, you lose to say to the champion or whatever, and so forth. It's not like they're going back down to the European Championship or the Hardcore Championship. Everybody was on the wavelength. Everybody was equal. Now, for some apparent reason, in the Attitude, or excuse me, in the era that we're in now, you lose to the main champion, and you're going to be knocked down a couple of pegs. Which I don't understand that. And why are we?
That's true.
Why is this me and you?
Okay, all right,
okay. No, but anyway, it's this Kazawa. I don't want to sound racist. Lord Jesus, please don't let me sound racist when I say this. I don't understand why they would put a white gimmick on a Chinese dude.
Hey, listen, man. It's always been everything. He's been a ninja.
He has been
Fucking
right,
It's been
racist.
everything.
Like
luchador.
Yeah, ninja.
you giving me
Yeah,
like
fucking
racist vibes, like ninja. Why he gotta be a ninja? I mean, why
yeah.
he got a surfer, a Chinese dude, and the surfer just doesn't go. It doesn't
Yeah.
mix for me. But once again, I don't know what they're doing with it. This man, I mean,
Yeah.
he's a jobber. We know it, but
Definitely a jobber.
yeah.
But I like him. I
It's
like him. He throws the comic angle is definitely great. I think for TV and Chad Gable and them is a perfect. I loved. Yo, listen, just kind of off topic a little bit. The Creed brothers, bro. Woo!
oh yeah,
I don't watch NXT that much, so I kind of missed them. I knew about them, but I missed their action.
yeah.
They are
Creed
fucking
Brothers is
phenomenal.
nice.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know about the creeper.
Yeah, they were incredible, man. They're
Oh man, you
incredible.
guys missing out on some good action on Tuesday nights though,
I be
man. Creed
trying to
Brothers
stay
is
up with it,
nice.
bro. I be trying to stay up with it, but I just can't. I don't know, man. It's just too much wrestling for me. I can't.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
You're
Like
right. You're
it's
right.
bad
It is a
enough
lot.
that I'm dealing with social media and their bullshit, and then I'm looking on this, and I'm just like, oh my god, yeah, this is too much for me.
I
I mean, we
watch
got wrestling
YouTube and
tonight.
yep, I watch YouTube. I watch What Culture, and I stay up. I watch Ups and Downs with Simon Miller. I watch all of that shit, but I just can't watch every show every night, man. But
I feel you.
yeah, I mean it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Dre, I'm definitely glad you jumped on to talk about it because like we said, I'm glad that y'all also said the same thing. I thought I was the only one. Even though, like we said before, I'm not really going into Crown Jewel expecting to see like, oh, like this is going to be pay-per-view of the year or some shit. It usually is just like more of a publicity event than it is more of a serious pay-per-view. We all know the serious pay-per-views. I personally, I think that Survivor Series at this point isn't as high caliber as it used to be because this Survivor Series really doesn't establish anything anymore. It's especially with the War Games now, it's team versus team. So it's like there's never any like big changes on there that really happens. Like it's gonna be Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso's team. That's my fucking thing. I don't know if that is.
I mean,
That's my opinion.
what it looks like, and I'm hearing that they're going to keep the War Games match exclusively to the Monday Night Raw side. So it's going to
Yeah, I
be
heard that.
probably Jey Uso team or Cody Rhodes team taking on the Judgment Day or somewhere in that effect, though. But
Is it
just
is it my imagination? But did they chant CM Punk?
I think they did. Yes, they
I
did.
didn't hear
Yes,
that.
they
I
did.
missed that. I
Yes,
was
they
working and
did.
watching. So
Yeah,
Yes,
bro,
they
they
did.
were chanting. I think they were chanting CM Punk.
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he
that.
pops up. I'm telling you right now, I won't be shocked if he pops up. I will not be shocked. I don't put
Me
shit
neither.
by wrestling, bro. I don't put
Yeah.
shit by wrestling.
Okay, I'm gonna dial it back real quick. And you guys were talking about Roman Reigns and his long championship run. And you guys said it's going to do hurt to the business, which I feel like is doing a lot more hurt because for a period of time when Roman Reigns took the title off of Brock Lesnar, which he had the WWE Championship, which was on Monday Night Raw, and
That
now
was the
it had
worst.
to scramble. It was now WWE had to scramble to find a new championship, and the network wasn't pleased on Monday nights and was like, "Yo, we need a title, we need a champion." So they came out with the World Heavyweight Champion, and now with Roman Reigns taking time off, and now we probably won't have a title on SmackDown. Who's a potential? I mean, we were talking about LA Knight and a couple other people though, but more so, you know, the feeling of that and who you think will be a good challenger to take that title off him because I don't think he will be champion until after WrestleMania.
You mean Seth? You mean take the
Uh,
title off of Seth or Roman?
Roman.
Oh, y'all know my opinion on this shit.
So I'm gonna tell you the elephant in the room, and I'm gonna tell you why this is this Roman situation. Now, if you guys follow me on Facebook, there was a lot of people that had a lot to say about my Fox, the Fox not re-signing or renewing yeah. So I'm telling people it's like because like first of all, when you tried, I'm like Brian. I love my wrestling. I do my research, and you know what I'm saying. I like go back in time all the way to the present day. here's the issue with SmackDown and why Fox is not re-signing SmackDown. The issue is that WWE was not fulfilling their end of the bargain. It was supposed to be $3 million every Friday. I knew WWE was not going to go anywhere near that
not on a
number unless
Friday, bro. Not on a Friday.
That's another thing. Fridays are a bad day.
Going out night. That's going out
exactly.
night, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like Thursdays are cool because Thursdays people don't go out.
Nope. You're getting ready for Friday, so you're home.
Right, they get ready for Friday, right? You know what I'm saying? But
I always said that shit.
It's just the thing is, it's like this was bad timing, and I think Fox was looking at WWE like, okay, you're this global brand. We remember the Attitude Era. We remember, Fox was on SmackDown at one point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when SmackDown back then, they were clocking in at least about 4 million per week. That's when it was hot. But they failed to understand that times have changed with WWE. WWE is not as raunchy. It's not as edgy like it used to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are turned off by wrestling. My boy, Sir Wilkins from the Jobber Tears podcast, he said this, and I kind of disagree with him for him saying this, but I was kind of in limbo when he said this. He said that it's hard to advertise wrestling, especially these days. I said, I kind of disagree with that. It really all depends on the company and how they present their product. If the product is trash, I'm going to immediately turn away from it. Like I almost did this evening. I was like, listen, I'm going to go back playing Dead or Alive. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact is, it's just that, WWE is not what it used to be 25 years ago. People need to understand that.
And I think also people have their perception of wrestling as well. Once it got out that wrestling is what it is. Wrestling is scripted or it's not real. And then once after The Rock and Stone Cold left, no mainstream stars to gravitate people in. I was talking to my aunt. She was like, I don't watch that no more. I remember when The Rock and everybody come out there and it's
everybody
just like
says
the main the casual viewer to say they don't know what's going on, and it's completely have changed. And I think that is the sort of the main thing. I think WWE, YouTube, and the Instagram, and their social media, we got like 50 million subscribers or followers or whatnot, but they only pulling in 1, 2, 3 million, not even 3, but 2 million each and every Raw or SmackDown. So that's to say everybody and their mama love wrestling, but they don't give it the time of the day. And then also is, people don't have cable or
it's
whatnot.
not a priority.
It's not a priority, like it was. Shit, when The Rock was landing SmackDown, that was a priority.
You had to be watching
was coming out there. You had
$50 pay-per-views.
to watch
You was
it.
paying.
Yes. It was different when Howard Finkel. When you heard Howard Finkel, you knew it was special because it was a pay-per-view. It was something different. So I think that is a little thing because people already got their perceptions, and then when you say wrestling, people look at you crazy like, oh, you still watch wrestling? Like,
you still watch wrestling?
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting. You make a good point by saying you see they'll have 150 million. They put on a tweet. Oh, on Twitter today we did 450 billion, or like in this thing. Yeah, but like Chris just said, you still got 1 million people watching every now and then. You know what I'm saying? When you got some big shit going on, you got The Rock coming back, and then you got these whole big ass numbers. Of course, because like you guys both just said, I've been hearing it a lot lately. Like after The Rock and Stone Cold and these really big names, even John Cena, like after these really big names have left the premises, man, and now you got the new guys that are there. They're not even new at this point. Fucking Roman Reigns and Seth and them have been involved in WWE since like 2010,
right?
2009.
And another thing is too, like a casual viewer, you just tuning in. A lot of these guys look like the guys you might see at the corner store or something. They all
Smaller dudes.
Some of them are more smaller. Nobody really stands out, and
it all matters,
like,
right? Not larger than life.
Yes.
And not to say that the talent isn't phenomenal, but like you guys are both saying equally, like you have to to give something a chance, you have to have a reason to fucking be involved. And I think that is what is missing right now. People don't have a reason to be involved. We're involved because we love
Exactly.
wrestling. We've loved wrestling for a long time. But when's the last time you talked to somebody like, yeah, I just started watching 2 months ago and I love this shit? Like, you don't hear that conversation too much. Most of the people we talk to, even we all do podcasts. Every wrestling show I have is motherfuckers who've been watching wrestling from at least 96, 98, 97, maybe 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never like I can't find that many casual people who are just like, yeah, well, I just turned the TV on and I saw this guy talking with a microphone and I fell in love. Like, you don't hear that too much, man. And I'm pretty sure it's happening. Like, I put my son onto wrestling. Like, that's how I pass down the torch. But it is difficult because it doesn't stand out as much, and it is definitely over, saturated at this point because there's a lot of wrestling. What, Dre, you were asking about Roman and who we think is the next person. It's such a hard question. I still stand with my shit. This is something that I don't even know if I think it will happen. I just think that this would be for me, the greatest way it could happen. And that's if Damian cashes in on Roman on some fucking match. No match. No, oh, he just got beat or he just beat somebody and he's tired. I'm talking about Damian just comes out. Roman is in one of them situations where, fucking, LA Knight hit him with the BFD or whatever, and nobody's thinking about it. And then all of a sudden, Damian Priest music just hits out of nowhere, especially because he's on Raw. And then he just comes out there and he runs out and he cashes that fucking shit in. And Jimmy's there and Solo's there and he got a chair, bam, bam, or the Judgment Day comes down with him. And get them, direction traffic and shit. 1, 2, 3, that fucking play, including me, be losing my mind. Did this motherfucker just cash in on the nigga that had for 1,500? Listen, bro. To me, there is no other way that I can see this man losing. I don't give a fuck about a match at WrestleMania because you know what's going to happen. Mania, at this point, if he don't lose that shit till Mania, either it better happen or I'm turning that shit off because I'm like, okay, you didn't lose again. Okay, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. Keep it forever.
That is where I'm at right now. That is where I'm at in life right now.
It's gotta be before Mania, man. If it's not a surprise, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. If LA would have won, I would have been excited. But I'm just gonna keep it. I don't care.
Hey, look at now. Like I was talking about, it's not necessarily about the belt more so. It's now who's going to beat him, and I know whoever beat him is going to definitely skyrocket. Now
you got to make it worth it.
Yes, you do got to make it worth it though. For some reason, I don't know. I feel like Damian Priest is going to fall under the category as of being an unsuccessful cash in, and that probably is going to make help, not necessarily help him, but that is going to bridge the gap with the story of him in the Judgment Day, whether he stays or whether he goes. Because if he don't cash in, he could, the Judgment Day is obviously, the reason why though. But what they did with him trying to cash in on Seth and then having Sami Zayn come out there and run off with the briefcase,
prolonging that shit, man.
Which I feel like they're gonna have a one-on-one matchup for the briefcase.
For the briefcase, I think that too.
Something is telling me that Sami Zayn might win. I don't know. It just I feel like he will win it though. But I mean, like the heel Money in the Bank winner is much more entertaining than a babyface. So I want to see how it goes. I don't see Damian ever cashing in. He could potentially try, but I don't see him cashing in and being successful over Roman Reigns though. I don't know. I think it's too much story.
That's why that shit would be great. That's why that shit would. Just think of the power it would give Damian immediately, yo. And then he goes, like I tell you, he's gonna go back to the Judgment Day. Like, yeah, we don't got a leader. Are you crazy? I'm the fuck. Of course I'm a leader. I just beat this motherfucker 1,500. And that's why I think Damian's gonna flip on a Judgment Day. I don't think that they're gonna turn on him. I think he's gonna flip on them. Like, I don't need y'all motherfuckers. I'm Damian Priest. And I think he's gonna be right. And I think even if he had a heel persona doing that, I think people would still fucking levitate to him because he beat Roman Reigns. I think it sets up an amazing character and a next level superstar like we're trying to establish right now. Like everything else, it just doesn't add up for me, man. It's like there's nobody. Sami with the briefcase. Sami Zayn is right back where he was before he joined the Bloodline. I don't care what anybody says. There ain't shit he's doing anymore. KO too. KO moving to SmackDown was a smart move. What did he do? He goes up to Austin Theory and fucking the Joker, and made a joke immediately. He can't be established until he's heel again. There's no face character that's open for him to even have a fucking rivalry with at this point. Because everybody's a fucking face. Miz just turned face. You need some strong heels to establish the good guys and make anything make sense, man. Bailey's another. Look at Bailey. Bailey's getting tossed around, interfering with Io. I thought she was gonna flip on Io fucking 4 pay-per-views ago, and it's the same shit. Bailey looks like a fucking joke, man. Her and Charlotte need to team the fuck up, and Becky, and get on the level where they owning these bitches. Like, yo, we the originals. Fuck all y'all. Y'all getting, and then bam, you got something for Bianca to do. You got something for Io and them to do. You got a fucking triple threat that you can put. It's so much that can be done. I feel like there's so many calibers that are just missing from so many stories in wrestling right now, man. Take chances. Take risks.
You all right. You all right. How you feel about Solo being John Cena?
That was the smartest shit they could have did. Dominance. Spiking that motherfucker 5,000 times. I kept fucking doing it right now. That was the smartest shit they could have did. That right there, let Solo just completely create a Solo. Now he's on a level, and to me, he's on a level equal to Roman Reigns. That just took Solo and said, you see what I just did to this motherfucker? You told me to do it, and I did it. I did beyond that. I shut the greatest. Michael Cole saying the greatest in the world. Look at that nigga. He's sleep. Fucking sleep on that motherfucker. I think that was the smartest kind of establishment that you can make. That shit spoke volume. Even the ref is scared. Like, holy shit, bruh. That's what they need to be doing with these motherfuckers at this point, man. You got to make these niggas, man. Like, you can't just talk about them like, oh, I want you to be good. Nah, you got to make. That was the smartest shit they could have did. Make him on some Umaga level shit. Like, he should be. I don't even know why he wouldn't be.
And I think he is going to be, though. I think once he get out of the bloodline situation, I think he's going to be definitely fine.
Yeah, I think he still got some establishing to do, but I definitely think that Solo's one of them dudes that he still got a little bit to prove, but I think that was a big spot for him. And we're going to see what happens. Once that enforcer role kicks out, and he's another one that doesn't have to turn face or heel. He can just be that character and just play it. And he can go after whoever the fuck he wants. He can go after Drew. He can go after Shinsuke. He can go after anybody. Anybody who gets in my way, I'm fucking you up. That's it. Simple as that. Like, I don't know, bro. They need more attitude in this shit, yo. They need some more attitude in this shit, yo. For real. Like,
I agree.
Hey, man. You guys got great points, man. Definitely great points. I appreciate you guys, man, tuning in. Also, Chris, man, thank you for coming through, and also my guy, Brian B. Anything else you guys want to, say about, wrestling? Anything you guys looking forward to? We already talked about Survivor Series. That's coming up.
So I'm going to fly over to TikTok. This is the life of a podcaster. When you have more than one show, you're going to have to do the work. And I'm just like, listen, I am trying to take me a nap. So AEW Collision comes on at about 7:00. I have a show on Tuesday on TikTok, which is called Wrestling Debates and Catering. Tune into that. I did post episode 4 on our site at Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, so check that out. Other than that, I don't got nothing else. Thank you for letting me come on the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Brian B.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Always. Hey, Dre, you know how it is, bro. Listen, we family at this point. I'm eating out of your refrigerator and shit. But yo, listen, man. I really appreciate coming on and always talking wrestling, man. Speaking of wrestling, we are really putting forward, straight through the roast wrestle talk. We do our thing too. Of course, the commission talks we doing at I think the times is changing, so I don't know. I don't want to shout out the time yet, but definitely check us out on commission talks. When we come out on Wednesdays, usually the straight through the roast wrestle talk of 9:00 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be available to you Wednesday nights as well. And we still got the shows going on. We got a lot of new things coming to the Beeline Entertainment starting next year. I'm getting them together. We're gonna be overworking, and I'm loving it. And I'll definitely be on your show, Chris. I'll be jumping in there trying to talk shit too. And Dre, of course, we're gonna be on our shows and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to the new year, man. Happy holidays to everybody too, man. We getting to that level and shit.
Too.
Holidays are back now.
Yeah, it's just started snowing on Halloween.
It's It's crazy, man. Already getting
Yeah,
that cold shit coming in.
right.
Yes, it's
I'm
cold out here.
this shit.
Hey, once again, man, appreciate you guys. I ain't gonna take too much of your time, Chris and Brian B. Man, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You
Once
too.
again,
Show.
appreciate it. No
Peace
problem.
All
out,
right,
No
y'all.
man.
problem.
Bye, y'all.
All right, all right. No problem, no problem. All right, Brian B, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man, for dropping by. Thank you, man. It's been a great show. Thank everyone for tuning in here on the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, and my guy Chris from Hills for Life Wrestling Podcast. Drop in right after this live, man. The links will be down below, and also my commission bro, Brian B. Um, Host of the Beeline Entertainment LLC. So definitely make sure you go and check them out, man. The guys are very animated. The guys love wrestling. Like you said, man, we been wrestling fans, including myself, been wrestling fans since what the late '90s Attitude Era. So not as much attitude era, not as much attitude in it as you would like to have it in it since the old days. But great show. Crown Jewel was okay, man. Seth freaking Rollins walking away with the W. Can't wait to see a new champion, new world heavyweight champion soon. Will it be Drew McIntyre? Who will it be? Don't know. Don't know, man. Rhea Ripley retaining her women's world champion. That was great for really dominant. That she retained her championship and beat all four of the other women in the matchup. Solo Sikoa, like my man Brian B. Man, I thought this made Solo look even more stronger. And when I think of Solo Sikoa, I can't help and not think of Umaga. And also, we've seen the United States Championship change hands, which is going to be a smart idea come when Logan Paul does a live podcast or whatnot and having the title on his podcast and all over his social media. So, that's that, man. That is that. Also, uh, Io Sky retained her championship, and we've seen Kairi Sane make her, return to WWE and assist uh, Io Sky. Barely, she did not like the look of that at all. And also, man, people got a lot to say about this guy. Cody Rhodes defeat Damian Priest, and which was a it's okay match, man. I guess I give it the benefit of the doubt, right? And also, you guys, man, the main event, the match that everyone was here for, Roman Reigns taking on L.A. Knight. Yeah, man, still made the guy L.A. Knight look strong, even though Paul Heyman a little bit tried to interfere. We seen Jimmy Uso come out, but what happened in the ring? 1, 2, 3. I say this on Commission Talk. I feel like next week on SmackDown, when LA Knight come out, it's going to be even more of a bigger pop than it was at Crown Jewel or last week because they love LA Knight. We're invested in LA Knight, so hopefully this continues to go on, man. So a great show. We got AEW. Just like my man Chris said, AEW Collision is coming up in about an hour and a half. It may come on at 7 o'clock. I'm not sure. I got a different time. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. Definitely, if you're joining here on Facebook, like the 11:30 podcast Facebook page. Please do me a huge favor. Like it, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. Yes, leave a comment, man. Let me know you was here. Uh, Everything, man, for real. Share it. Don't forget to share it. And also, if you're joining on YouTube, definitely smash the subscribe button, like it, comment, share it, do all that great stuff. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. And speaking of social media, follow me on TikTok at the 11:30 podcast. Follow me on Instagram at the 11:30 podcast underscore, you guys. Yes. And also follow me on X at the 11:30 podcast, right here on YouTube. Subscribe, man. It's been a great show. I'm out of here on out of here, man. Go grab something to eat, chill with little man. Since the beginning of the show, he ain't said nothing, so I'm pretty sure he fell back to sleep. But man, great show. What a show. The 11:30 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling post-show review this week. Yo, the 11:30 podcast Talk Pro Wrestling will be live this coming Wednesday. I'm going to be hosting commission talks with my guy Brian B, Warren Marlowe, and Blackheart. So definitely tune in for that one, you guys. So next week's episode will be live on Wednesday. So tune in and another episode of the podcast show. But for myself, Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, man, stay safe, stay blessed, give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it and enjoy wrestling, man? You know, that's what we here for. We like wrestling. Man. Until next time, I'm out.